Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Joining Me... Wait a minute. Wait, where am I? Wait, where's the really obvious zoom outline? Where's my room? Oh, that's right, yes, today I'm doing something a little bit different. We mixed up things last time. We had two people on the show. I had two of the members of High Regard on the show. Fantastic guests, it was such a fantastic episode, such a great opportunity to interview two guests at once. But now, we're doing an in-person episode today. Yes, today I'm actually all the way in Norwich and stuff like that today. So for this special in-person interview at the Adrian Flux Waterfront Studio. And I've got two fantastic guests once again on the show for you guys. But before we get started, I've got to quickly do, staple of the show, song recommendation. And today's song recommendation is actually going to be a song called The Secret to Life by Fizz. A fantastic, fantastic song. Every time I get to say about sort of Dodie and all the Gartland, two artists that mean so much to me because they're so fantastic, so I've got to shout out their band. That song is really amazing, and the music video at the moment could be music video of the year. Just saying for me on the show, so keep an ear and eye out for that. But anyway, on to the main portion of this episode. Today, I'm going to be joined by the two members of one of the hot rising bands, there we go, in the metal scene, the alternative metal scene currently here in the UK. Welcome to the show, Lake Malice. How you guys doing?
Hey man.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good, yeah. It's always like our fourth show in a row, so I think we're probably a little bit like, at least I'm drifting off to another planet by this point, generally, but trying to like stay level. It's just
you're just trying to get through like all of us. You're just trying to truck through. That's just me through life every day. I'm trying to make sure I can get up in the morning, let alone early. I don't know how you guys do it, to be honest. But
it's good. It's good fun. It's good fun.
Oh no, 100%. But yeah, to sort of get to the first thing. I've done my song recommendation, but I also like to get my guest song recommendation and stuff. So from each of you, if you were to recommend a song out there, it can be your own song. So there's no rule on that. But what would you guys pick?
Motorbike by Poppy. Sorry, just tune. Just tune.
I've still got to check out her stuff. I still haven't yet. I don't know why.
Oh, the last album
so
is
bad.
there's some really strong tracks on that. Motorbike. I was saying.
So that was like the last song we were listening to in the van.
Yeah, we were like.
I was literally gonna say the exact same song.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Guess we'll just say one.
I feel like whenever I get asked that question, my mind goes completely blank, and I can never think of any songs ever, let alone ones I like. But what I always normally say, because it's just like a banger really, I guess, is Shimigami Eyes by Grimes.
Oh, yeah.
We actually have that in our pre-show playlist, don't we? It really gets me like psyched up. But yeah, it's like about the song is really addictive, and it's just incredibly catchy. I love the way Grimes produces her music. She's very, very talented. Yeah, so Shimigami Eyes, it's like, I feel like you could show that song to anyone and it'd be very hard to not like it. It's just so good, so catchy.
Yeah, two brilliant recommendations. Of course I'm going to give two great recommendations. They're two great artists. You know what I mean? And I give great recommendations because I'm amazing. But anyway, thank you for laughing at my lame jokes. That gives me the validation I need. But anyway, and stuff, so we've done the song recommendations, brilliant recommendations. You guys should definitely go check them out. But to jump into sort of the main questions and all that, you guys have just released a new single actually, Eternal December. It's a really good tune. You guys should definitely check that one out as well. But what's the story behind the song and how did it all come about?
So we wrote that song in the winter months, which I feel like lasts forever. But it's something that we wrote a while ago, mainly about my experience changing countries and losing much of my connections and a sense of isolation that comes from building a new life elsewhere, and a sense of missing, that sense of belonging and feeling home. So it's pretty much a song about homesickness mixed with a bit of seasonal depression, which is something that came to change quite a lot in my life, having just missing the sun in general. It's a very simple concept, but it's such a massive key part to my life, I feel. So that's been a main inspiration really for the song. Lyrical content mostly.
Yeah, for sure.
And it really is a great song. And the funny thing is, for some reason, my brain didn't think Oh yeah, you probably might have also wrote it in the winter. For some reason, I didn't put 2 and 2 together there, and I don't know why. But it's just but so speaking of that though, I know you guys and stuff like that as well. Like you guys just released a music video and stuff like that for it, and I know that music videos is like a big deal for you guys as well. Like I'd say for a band sort of your size, like the amount of music videos you've done is like it's quite unprecedented, especially in the modern scene. And is that something you guys wanted to do going in? You were like, we want as many songs as possible to get music videos and all that, or is it just kind of something that just kind of happened over time?
It's just bad financial decisions. Should we do a video? Can we afford it? I don't know.
What's the budget? Who's got a credit card?
How many videos do you want? Yes. We just enjoy giving songs that we really like a visual side to them, and a story. And
it feels almost like, sorry, I cut you off, but it feels too much like to release the song without any of that visual side to it. If you just put it out there with nothing, it would feel almost like, perhaps that's just a waste of an opportunity. And we put obviously a lot of work into the singles, because we've not actually released that much music, so we've really taken our time with our singles. So I guess we just want to make the most out of that moment, so that song can be enjoyed on a visual level as well as the auditory level, because that's,
Yeah, I think if we were doing an album where there's like different context, I don't think we would obviously put so much effort into like visual aspects of every single song, but because we give weight to these songs that we're dropping less regularly, then maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it, yeah.
It's quite interesting because like I've kind of mentioned this sort of on like previous episodes and all that, but I know there's a couple of bands sort of out there and stuff like that that have done those sort of video concept sort of albums. It's like every song has a music video, and I feel like it's kind of like I wish it was done more. I wish more bands would do like, let's go for this. I know obviously it's budgetary things and all stuff like that and timing.
But it can be done cheaply if you're creative enough, I guess. So no, you're right.
And I think for me it's just something about adding that visual aspect to it. It elevates the song. Like I think straight away of like Franz Ferdinand, Take Me Out or something.
Yeah.
Songs like that. Like if that didn't have that music video, I don't know if myself I would maybe like it too much. That kind of steampunk theme. It adds like another layer. And I feel like you guys definitely do that. Like you look at Magic Square. Like it's a bit of a kind of bit sort of based on film kind of thing and of that, and it sort of elevates the song. It makes it a bit more the gothic element, I guess, and it elevates the song. If you guys could keep making music videos though, please do, because they are really good, and I like to see express my love of music videos. I sort of love to see more and stuff, but sort of going away from music videos, talking about touring. Obviously, we're here on your headline tour, your first one for you guys and stuff like. What's it like to think you supported all these bands sort of over the years, stuff like like through COVID and stuff, Enter Shikari. What's it like to finally be like, now this is like our tour that we're going?
There's so much to say about that. Yeah, in my head, I am not headlining. In my head, I'm here getting ready to like there's gonna be another band after us. I'm not really getting it, and it's just unreal. It's an unreal feeling to see people that come to the show and to know that they're there for you. Is just it's just almost overwhelming, but in a positive way, obviously. Like it's coming to the realization that there's people out there for us that we didn't know existed before. We obviously know like some of those faces because we played so many support slots, but you just don't know who's gonna stick around, right? So I think like this for us has been like confirming, this is what Malice audience look like. These are the people that come for you specifically, innit? Not just because you're out there seeing someone else and you have to be that kind of thing, exactly,
innit?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think you see a lot I know a lot of people say this, they say like, it's nice to sort of you see all the numbers and the stats, you're told, oh, you've got this in the charts, or done this, done that, but it's different when you then see, there are people listening to my songs. You see the sort of people behind the numbers, and sometimes it does make you take a step back, innit? So it must be like that. It's
also so misleading, like figures that you see online are not real life figures. Like because like it's literally like a portion of your audience that listen. There's so many people that listen to music who are not gig goers. And that's like a massive difference between like being a fan and listening to an artist and then going to the shows, buying a ticket and be there. It's like it's completely different things, and I think like that's why it can be misleading. Like you look at something online and you're like, oh, this looks like a massive artist, and then it's real life. It's so completely different. I think.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of artists tend to rely on, like perhaps, you know, what they can do online through social media and through other platforms to have a sense of their progression in their career. And I feel like that was almost our approach to begin with this project. We were like, we don't really need to be a gigging band. That's not really something we're thinking about. We're just going to get this project going. We're going to release music because we were so fed up with not doing that for so long in past projects. So and what we realised over the last 2 years is that since we started touring, it came around much quicker than we were prepared for and we actually planned to, you know, to get out there. We started gigging and we realised that actually it's really important to be an active band and, you know, in the community and in the industry, because those real world interactions you have with people are really meaningful. People remember you, and you know, and it's so much more impactful than just like putting up a selfie on Instagram and getting 1,000 likes or whatever it might be. You know, it's a different thing altogether, but it's more, you know, it's more of a tangible experience, I think, for some people. And although it's been quite busy for us over the last 2 years, we've probably not got as much writing done as we should have done. It's still been like incredibly valuable because now we're in a position where we are, you know, we're going around playing shows and places like Sheffield where we've never been to before. But I think, you know, because we've been out with bands like Skin Dread, Rakovi and Vended and Bloodywood, and you know, these bands that have big fan bases, we've been able to meet those people, you know, have connections with them and chat to them, get to know them, and then, you know, and then they're kind of almost like friends, you know, at that point, and they come and see us when we play, and it's amazing, you know. And I feel like it's so important to be doing that if you want to, you know, to actually to have, you know, that growth as an artist. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question in any way at all, but
oh, no. Well, I feel like as well, like you brought sort of up an interesting point about kind of like the gigging scene and sort of having sort of these relationships with all these sort of bands, whatever, because I feel like there's like a community now forming in the kind of, especially the underground alternative scene, like that kind of rock, alternative metal kind of sphere, if you want to call it, which I feel like I don't feel like you saw it too much before. Like people can maybe sort of argue wrong, sort of, you know, fair enough, but I just feel like you're seeing like, you know, sort of one band you'll see like yourselves and you're like, oh, you know, like as everything unfolds, or you know, this band, it's like, oh, they link to this person and they know that person. And it's like this community, and everyone's like linked together, and I think that kind of makes everybody's sort of stuff better, doesn't it? Because you're all performing together and stuff.
It's a small world, I think, at the end of the day, you know, and the industry is not as big as many people may think, and lots of bands do know each other, you know, and it's, you know, when you come to venues like this one, they're actually quite iconic, aren't they? Because there's not that many places that you can put on a metal show, really, and it'd be viable and work in this country and industry. So, yeah, it's a small world, and it benefits to just be part of it and be nice.
Sort of speaking sort of scenes and all that, sort of going back to that and stuff like that, I find it sort of very interesting and stuff like that, especially sort of like you sort of, Alice, you'd said about like the Italian scene I'd seen in previous interviews and all that from what I sort of researched, and you'd sort of commented on how it's quite different sort of in Italy in terms of how it's perceived and what the scene's like and all that. And like I've got to sort of ask this whatever, because obviously it's kind of become quite sort of prevalent sort of recently. Like, what would you say about the success of Maneskin and kind of putting the Italian sort of scene on the map in a way?
I mean, that's an anomaly if you ask me, because Maneskin went through a pathway that was quite different from what common artists do usually, which is through like mainstream media and television, and you know, that gave them access to a massive audience, and that allowed them to like expand on that. I think like if you were to choose that path, then in Italy, you know, you can have success, potentially even stuff like X Factor, you know, those programs that allow you to like get out there with you know, more reach than a different kind of like progress that you have like by building things more step by step, like kind of slowly, you know, like by gigging and supporting other acts and like, but also like it's also quite, you know, it's a bit more accessible as well as music. I wouldn't call that alternative, you know, underground kind of genre. So that's also another reason why I think they you know, they managed to get where they are. It's like it's way more accessible. They're obviously very talented, but I think like it's a bit of an exception. I think like in Italy, that's not the case for most artists, especially in our sphere, in that kind of underground sphere. It's much harder to you know, make a living out of it, for sure. There's not an ecosystem in the industry that allows you to get there. There's just not the money around it, I think, and there's not enough fans of heavy music either in Italy. It's just like a different environment and a different industry, and yeah, it's not one of those markets where, like, you know, this type of music is cultivated at all. So like, yeah, it's really hard for artists there, and I think this is the reason why I'm here as well. Like, yeah.
Do you sort of feel like then so there's probably not much of a potential for it to open the door for more acceptance for it? Maybe because they are, especially because they're going in more of a poppy direction, do you think it's kind of like, it probably is not going to have like the K-pop effect where now we're having like bands that never would have made it, maybe BTS didn't get famous, now they're like mega famous. You don't think they'll kind of be that kind of renaissance in a way?
You mean in Italy?
In Italy, yeah, sort of like.
There's a big hip hop scene now there. Like, definitely rap is something that is a bit more, you know. And I think that's a really positive thing, because, for example, like in the past maybe it wasn't that way, but now it's getting really, really big. So never seen ever. Like, maybe it's gonna happen for heavy music as well. Definitely. Like, yeah, I'd love to see that change for sure. It's just a matter of numbers and what people like, right?
Oh, 100%. It's all like numbers and thing, and that's what.
It really is, yeah.
100%. But
taste, yeah.
But you never know. Like one day could be. You never know. TikTok has changed a lot of things in the industry. I feel so. You never know what could happen. And one Netflix show and then it pops off in it. You never know.
You're right.
But yeah, sort of, you know, we've asked sort of a lot of sort of good questions with you guys, sort of covered a lot of sort of different stuff. But we've spoke about the past, a bit about the present, we've current tour now. But let's look at sort of the future. You guys have already got an EP out. It's up for your post-Genesis EP. Fantastic EP. You guys should definitely check that out as well. You've got to check out loads of things, but you know, it's all worth it. All recommendations today. But what are you guys looking in terms of the future? Are you looking at another EP, just seeing how things are going, or do you want to full on go for the album now?
Yeah, I think we are sort of finding our sound quite. We're kind of chiseling out, I think, our place, aren't we? In terms of where we feel like we fit in with the, you know, the scene, where we want our sound to go. And it's taken the last 2 years to sort of get there, hasn't it? I feel like more confident than ever with what we're writing now. I do think a full length is not far off on the horizon. I don't think it's going to be next. But there'll most definitely be another body of work this year, but it won't be a full length this year. But yeah, it's definitely on the horizon for us. We're looking at putting out another EP, you know, by the end of the year at the very least. And I feel like that way it enables us to sort of transition into that sort of that final destination, not final destination, but that kind of, you know, planned evolution, a little bit easier, you know, so a little bit more of a slower progression into it. Yeah, and I feel like for us as so far, a very active band in the industry in terms of live shows, it's very hard to like write at the same time, you know. So it's taken, you know, it's taken longer than I kind of wanted it to get new music, you know, together and written, because I'm a real perfectionist with bits, and it, to my detriment most of the time. So yeah, I'm hoping that this year enables us to maybe be a little bit less active. Still, you know, still got some cool stuff planned, but just get a little bit more ahead really with that writing, and yeah, hopefully we'll have a full length out 2025. I think is
that's a plan.
Most likely on the horizon for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome to see and stuff like that. You know, sort of many people and stuff like that. You know what I mean. Sort of in the indie scene, they're all like, "Oh, an album," they get a bit worried about it and all that. But you guys are like, "That's on the horizon. We want to get there at that."
Yeah,
point. So
we're pretty focused on doing that. It feels about right, you know, and you know, there's so many factors that play into it with releasing music, you know, at our level, because each time we put a song out, there's a lot of money associated with doing it justice. You know, we spoke about the video, you know, and then there's like all the other costs that get factored in, and it's kind of like running a small business, you know.
Yeah, like you gotta balance out the ins and outs.
Yeah, so we can't do too much at once, really, so at our level, and hopefully that journey will sort of become a bit easier once we get help from a label, perhaps, and you know, that there's certain things that might need to slot into place for it to happen, but something we're definitely focused on doing is a debut album.
So that'd be very exciting, so keep an eye out for that, guys, ears and eyes out for that. Sort of the final thing sort of on that then and stuff, do you think it would be a similar-ish sound and style to the first EP, like in terms of future stuff? Do you want to look at maybe doing things a bit differently, or you're like, we're really happy with our sound, we're just going to evolve it and just take what we've got now and just take it to the next level?
I think it's going to be quite different in terms of sound. I mean, it's obviously still us, but it's got a bit more, like we're already seeing it in some of the new demos that we got, and we're playing them as part of this set. It's like new songs that I think are going to be part of our new releases that are a bit more, I guess it's like a bit more alternative pop influenced, and it's not like we're kind of trying to get away from the metal, genre, but we want to take that to an extreme and like try to push the boundaries as much as we can.
Yeah.
It's still keeping that balance, obviously, and still like trying to do it with taste, because like it's really, it's still really hard to like kind of,
So I'm dying to talk. Sorry, you still like. I agree. And I feel like it is a bit of what you said, the latter as well. It's like keeping the good things that we've got, because I've always wanted to just have no boundaries on what we do musically, and we both love pop, we both love metal. It's always going to be pop and metal, music, and I like the fact that with this project we don't have to set that boundary on what we do. Essentially, it's still going to be ours. But I think the way I would describe what we're doing now is we're finding our songwriting is evolving and getting much stronger.
Final question that I like to ask with every episode is, and so I'm going to throw it to both of you guys, what's the most important piece of advice you would give someone? So let's say it's to like myself, for instance, like what piece of advice would be the most important one you'd give?
Just in life?
Just in life, anything, just whatever you feel, whatever first comes to your mind.
Brush your teeth at night.
Wow.
I mean,
so funny. I'd say.
Well, that's a new one. I don't think anyone
says. In the morning.
Yeah.
Just at night.
But especially in the music industry, I think it's very important for you to be your number one fan. Like, and no matter how much you think other people will support you, and they will, but you're the one. Like, you're the one who has to make things happen. You're the one who's gotta keep that belief high, and it will fluctuate. It will go up and down. It's not like a super confidence from day one that stays the same. It's more like a, but other people will help, but you're the one who has your interest at heart the most. So yeah.
If you're a serious one, don't compromise what you want to do because someone else is holding you back.
That is a really brilliant sentiment and stuff like that. I always like getting these pieces of advice because I can even take it on myself, you know what I mean, as well. So that is brilliant. No, a genuinely great sort of piece of advice there, guys, and stuff. And yep, there we come to the end of the episode there and stuff. Before we go, anything you guys want to shout out? Maybe the rest of your headline tour dates and just other stuff you got out there.
Are you guys gonna put this up this month at all? We can talk about
as fast as I can.
Well, if it airs while we're still on tour, then please come see us on tour. If you can get to a show, we'd love to see you. We've got something new to share at the end of the month that you may hear at the show. Can we say what it is? Probably can't, can we? It's
just something new.
It's not necessarily a new song, but it's a new take on a song. There's that, I guess. I think there's not really much else to say. Maybe please check out Post Genesis, our debut EP.
But yeah, no guys, just sort of keep an eye on this space basically for all their stuff, sort of check out sort of their website, their social media and stuff, just, search up their name, you'll find some stuff out there for them, and keep an eye out for that thing at the end of the month. I'm very excited about that, so that sounds very interesting. And yeah, this has been another great episode of the show. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you guys next time. Peace out.